Here's a shout out to the all-year motorcyclist, otherwise known as Tame. Gave me inspiration for the name of this channel. He likes to call sports bike riders naughty boys. Well, I'm not a sports bike rider, but I am a naughty biker, and I like to keep it dirty. So let's get into it.
What a gorgeous day. Can't believe it. Spring has sprung. So for today, we're going to take a short little ride over to Somersworth, New Hampshire to pick up a surprise I have for the channel. I hope you guys like it.
Along the way, we'll discuss a recent online purchase I made, was forced to make because of my blunder, and the services that I use to pay it. I'm interested in your opinion about that service and whether you use it as well. So I hope you stick around for it. And if nothing else, please stick around till near the end of this video for an important message about suicide prevention. The essay I share, I think, is a very powerful one. And I think everyone will get a lot out of it. So please stick around, like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the other side.
Which reminds me, this Saturday is daylight savings time. So we're going to set the clocks ahead an hour. Seems like it came really quickly. Now, as you know, from the last couple episodes, I had a funeral I attended. My good friend Phil Miles, rest in peace, Phil. But what I didn't tell you was, on the day of the wake, a group of us got together on motorcycles and some in cars, made the trip over to the funeral home to pay our respects to the family and to Phil. In the group of bikes up ahead, a car slammed on their brakes, causing everybody else to slam on their brakes. And my brakes didn't stop me in time, so I ran into the back of my buddy Lenny's Road Glide. Beautiful beast. You'll see it here. You've seen it on my videos before. He rides with me quite a bit. So, old Dixie Orange Crush here, she took the collision well, because my front tire bounced into his rear fender and bounced right back up, and we both stayed up. But Lenny's poor Road Glide fender took a little dent and scratch. I tried to tell him it looked fine, gave character to the bike, but for some reason he just kept laughing at me. So in any event, I got to find a fender for him. And actually, my other good friend EJ, who was the wheeler dealer in the eBay King, online sales king, immediately found, well, pretty much immediately, within 24 hours, found the perfect fender off a brand new bike on eBay from a gentleman out in Georgia who does custom bikes, custom choppers, custom trikes, I think. So he gets a lot of fenders off of new bikes when he does trike conversions. I'll give him a shout out here. But he said the easiest way to pay him and the cheapest way to pay him was using Venmo. And for all my time in the digital world, I refused to do Venmo because I didn't want that easy access to my bank account. And cash is king as far as I'm concerned. I like the world in cash much better. So I decided, well, that's the way he wants his payment, so I'm going to set up the account. And so I set up a Venmo account. So I want to ask your opinions here is how many of you have a Venmo account? Do you like it? And is it reliable? Please comment in the comments section below. And also, if you like this video, you like my channel, even if you don't like me, please hit the subscribe button. the notification bell. Please share it. I'm trying to get this channel to grow. So I finally was able to get the account up, get it verified, go through the tedious questions and crap that you got to do on them, and but once I did it and I sent the money to him, it was like bing, instantaneous. It was actually pretty awesome. The convenience of it is something else. Now all I can do is hope that it's a safe venue. I know they've been around for a long time. I know a lot of you out there use it, so I'm assuming that it is. And I'm also assuming that this camera, this GoPro, which I keep squawking about, keeps freezing up on me, hasn't frozen up again. So you might get most of this ride just as front view. But in any event, we'll continue on down to Dover, and we'll join you back when we get to my destination. And so here we are, our destination. Let's park this beast up, go inside and pick her up. Be back with you in a minute. My brand new business cards. Graphic is actually from an advertisement, but hopefully now when I tell people about my YouTube channel, I can just hand them a card. It'll be that easy for them to find me. All right, we got one other place to go. Okay, the next destination we're off to is the Lee Police Department in Lee, New Hampshire. See a good friend of mine, Tommy, who was the police chief there, that I've known for over 30 years. I've got a special sticker to give him, and he's got one for me. I'll show you the sticker here. Came out quite nice, I believe. And it's fitting tribute to Phil. Still can't believe he's gone. But it actually had me do some reflection this morning, because I was reading an interesting essay in the Epoch Times, which is a great newspaper, by the way. I would highly suggest that everybody subscribe to it. It's just the plain truth, not a lot of hogwash. It has a weekly paper, kind of like a Sunday paper, I treat it like, because it has a lot of segments in it, a lot of good stuff on health, mind and body, and life and tradition. It's just a very, very good paper. But it has a digital edition every day. It keeps you updated. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description below. And while we go this short distance back to our next destination, I thought I'd share this essay with you. It hit home. It reminded me of the $1 Million Bogan, which is a YouTube channel I watch. I'm always concerned for him, and he does a huge suicide ride in Australia. So sit back. This is called Promise Me One More Sunrise
by Susan D. Harris. Just as I was coming into puberty, just as all the passion of life was getting ready to flood into my body, bringing hormones, dreams for the future, and revelations of the spirit, my mother taught me the most important lesson of my life. She sat down next to me on my bed, signaling this was a mom and me talk, the most serious kind. She said, "There might come a day when you feel like you can't go on." I furrowed my eyebrows, quizzically. "For one reason or another," she continued, "life might seem overwhelming. You might not even want it to go on anymore. If that ever happens, I want you to promise me one thing." My mouth hung open as I listened in rapt attention to this mysterious lesson. "I want you to promise that you'll go to bed and wait until morning to see the sunrise. Give it one more sunrise. Things will look different. Things always look different when you wait to see one more sunrise. Promise me?" "I promise," I said. At the time, my young mind couldn't really conceive of what could possibly ever make me feel the way Mom described. But I knew it was important, and filed it in the "if I ever need this, I know where it is" corner of my mind. A breakup with a fiance that came about 12 years later led me to the point of understanding what my mother had taught me years before. I wouldn't have really hurt myself. I knew that, but the pain was so great that I didn't know how I would find the strength to carry on. I fell to my knees in tears and said, "One more sunrise, Ma. I remember. I promised." I found that it might even take a few sunrises, but the amazing thing was she was right. Everything does look different the next day. The same problem and hurts might be hanging over us like oppressive storm clouds, but the next day doesn't feel like the end of the world anymore. It feels like life is going to go on, stumbling, maybe awkwardly at first, but thank God in all its glory, life does go on. Eventually, you find new love, you make new friends, you feel the wind in your hair and the sun on your face, and you say, "It feels good to be alive." Would that everyone had a mom like my mom, but they don't. I once had a friend whose younger sister was coming home from college for Easter. She was his only sibling, and he was so proud of that girl, so full of love for her, that he was just bustling with anticipation until we could all meet her. He was working that day and couldn't pick her up at the airport, so they planned to meet later at the old homestead. He walked in, only to find her dead of a shotgun blast to the chest, lying in the bedroom that she'd so vivaciously left just 2 years before. It seems her boyfriend had passionately pledged his love as they parted at the airport, 1,000 miles away, even as he'd secretly been planning to end the relationship by phone as soon as she got home. Sadly, she didn't know about waiting for one more sunrise. Even in her casket, wearing her old prom dress, her brother was still proud of her. "God, she's beautiful, isn't she?" he asked us. "I told you she was. I wish you could have met her." There was one thing we were all sure of, that if she had the choice to relive that moment that day, she'd choose life. She wouldn't choose to throw an entire lifetime away because of one stupid boy at school. She wouldn't choose to put her dear brother through the trauma that permeated the rest of his life. She couldn't anticipate, as the young often can't, that in a couple of years, the memory of that boy would still be history, and she'd be busting with joy as she received her diploma at graduation, filled with high expectations of the life that lay before her. Later in my own life, I had to endure my mother's death because of the medical negligence in an emergency room. She had lived with me for years, and I'd call 911 for her that morning. "I hate to go to the hospital. They're probably going to kill me," she joked, as we sat in the living room waiting for the ambulance to arrive. When I came home alone that evening, a weary, tear-stained adult feeling like a 5-year-old orphan, I found it was time once again to keep my promise. "One more sunrise, Ma," I whispered to myself. In my case, I believe that my mother, father, and all of my family are in heaven. My Christian faith washes daily blessings over me, pushing me to go on, to keep fighting, to not just live life, but to fully embrace it. I try to get up every morning and say, "I'm here, and God has given me the power to make the world a little happier today. Just watch what I'm going to do." I want to share with you whatever is going on with you right now. Promise me you'll give it one more sunrise. If you can't think of one single reason to go on in this world, know that you are not alone. Most everyone feels that low at some point in their life, but we do get through it. Take the smallest, most significant thing you can think of that makes you happy and plan to experience it tomorrow. A steaming cup of morning coffee, the way the sunlight shines through the kitchen curtains, a video on your iPhone that makes you laugh, a text message from a friend with that silly emoji that makes you smile. Whatever it is, it's part of the tapestry of your unique life, and it matters. No matter if you're 18 or 81, remind yourself that every day is a clean slate to write on and a new beginning. Make the most of it. Let someone know you care. Be a shoulder to cry on. Help a stranger. Smile like you mean it. Because this stuff, this life, whatever is happening now, is the only one you'll get. Hold on to it with every fiber of your being, because it really is worth every sunrise, even if it doesn't feel like it right now.
So yeah, I hope you got the same out of that essay that I did. What a wonderful lesson for a mother to teach her child. I thought it was pretty special. Too many people die of suicide. It's always tragic when they're so young and not quite mature yet, not realizing the great and wonderful life with all its trials and tribulations and joys that lie ahead of them. and they put out the light. One such special young man, the son of two people I care quite a bit about, recently made that unfortunate decision last year. And I won't share his image here, but out of respect for the family. But I will say, rest in peace, Cole. I love your family, and I hope that they are getting some peace. God bless. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We're only 1 to 2 weeks away from the big bike reveal, so you'll see what the highlighted bike of 2024 will be. So, until next week, I want you all to keep the rubber side down, stay fun, stay in the wind, and just remember this: I'm just another old retired guy trying to stay relevant. Peace!